Hello everyone, I am Dr. Chander Pawar. Currently I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry at VNR VIGNANA JYOTHI Institute of Engineering and Technology, which is located in Bachapalli, Hyderabad. So today I will be discussing briefly about one of the VJ differentiator, that is nothing but WIT and WIL. So basically, how this WIT and WIL, what is the definition of WIT and WIL, and how it could be correlated to our engineering chemistry modules. So now basically, before going into the definition of WIT and WIL, as our famous scientist Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam quoted that the future of a nation decided in the class. So that's a famous quote given by the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So certainly that's true. Why? Because the future of a country or future of a nation can be decided in the class, and by considering that statement, we come up with a WIT and WIL concept, which is one of the our VIGNANA JYOTHI differentiator. So basically, before going into this WIT and WIL, I mentioned the two quotes here. Basically, a teacher who lacks learning cannot be effective. That means a teacher should be keep updating all the time, keep learning all the time. Then only he or she can be a effective teacher or a faculty to motivate the student or to make the great citizen of a country. Another quote is, without knowledge a teacher cannot excel. Yes, that's also true. Why? Because teacher should be keep on updating and keep on improving the knowledge. Then only he or she can be a good teacher. Okay. Now basically, coming back to our differentiator, that is nothing but WIT and WIL. So here WIT and WIL, it's like the interrelation between a teacher and a student. So basically, WIT related to a faculty or a teacher, WIL related to a student. So basically, WIT, why am I teaching? So before going to a class, a teacher or a faculty should question himself or herself that why am I teaching and what am I teaching to the students. These are two WIT related two things which we question before going to a class. And when it comes to WIL, why am I learning and what am I learning? So from the teacher or from the faculty, what the student intake or what the student is grabbing, what the student is taking from the class, that is related to a student. So now our Vignana Jyoti philosophy is, a teacher's presence in the classroom is very important for engineering emerging future and real world connections. Yeah, absolutely. Why? Because a teacher's role is very, very crucial to mold or to make a nation great, and that is the Vijay philosophy. Now basically, as part of our chemistry for engineers, I choose farmer and farming topic here, and we have 5 modules in our engineering chemistry curriculum. So first module is water and its treatment, second module polymer science, third module battery technology, fourth module corrosion and its control, and last module, that's nothing but fifth one, engineering materials. So how these 5 modules are interrelated to this WIT and WIL, and how this is going to help for a undergraduate student. Now let us see a correlation. Here I have represented a magical vehicle, that's nothing but tractor. So without tractor, a farmer cannot do the cultivation, cannot do the farming, and it's very difficult to get the food for the growing population. So that's why I call this vehicle as a magical vehicle, that's nothing but tractor. So when we talk about this tractor, water, our first module, water and its treatment, yes, for farming, sprinkler should be there, and enough water should be there for the farming and cultivation. And as we know that most of the water is in the form of oceans, which is useless for the domestic purpose or any agriculture or any company, wherever it may be, it is not useful until unless we do the desalination. So for desalination and to make the sprinklers and to make it use for the farming, so definitely there will be a role of a engineer to come up with some technology to make the ocean water to utilize. Okay. Now coming to second module, that is nothing but polymer science. Polymer, a farmer to pump the water from one place to another place, there should be a pipeline, there should be a connection of pipes, and without pipes we cannot pump the water from one place to another place. And to make that kind of pipes, tubes, polyvinyl chloride PVC pipes, so definitely a engineer and a company, a factory should be there. And then definitely there is a role of a BTech graduate. And to make the tires, then again there will be a role of a engineer. And generally in domestic, basically in our kitchen, these utensils basically made with the Teflon coated pans, Teflon coating polymer. So this Teflon coating is also a polymer and needs a involvement of a undergraduate or a minimum knowledge of BTech. So third module, that is nothing but battery technology. Yes, as I represent here, battery will be having a anode, cathode, oxidation, reduction, and compartmental arrangement in series. And finally there will be a light coming out. So to make this kind of battery, there are so many commercial batteries outside, Exide and Amaran, etc. So to make this kind of batteries, again a engineer's role is there. And another topic is corrosion and its control. Yeah, basically since this magical vehicle tractor is in contact with the soil and moisture, so definitely the parts will be corroded. And to prevent the corrosion and to make corrosion resistant materials, definitely we need to have some minimum knowledge. And finally engineering materials. Yes, whatever the tractor or magical vehicle I am calling, that is lot of engineering materials are there. Everything is made up of involvement of an engineer. Everything, for example, a castor oil, lubricant, there should be a involvement of undergraduate. So similarly, each and every module which we frame for our BTech curriculum, those are perfectly matching for a undergraduate student, and they need the minimum knowledge of engineering chemistry. Now basically there is another example. I choose RO system. RO nothing but reverse osmosis. So basically Kent, we all know that we in our household we use this Kent as a water purifier. So basically this Kent is one of the best example how this correlated to our engineering modules. So let us see first one, water and its treatment. Yes, this instrument or this equipment is meant for the purification of water. Then definitely its role is there. And then second one is polymer science. Yes, this instrument is made up of polymers. It's tubes. This structure and everything is made up of polymer. Including tap, everything is made up of polymer. And third one, battery technology. Obviously to work this instrument, there should be a continuous supply of power, that is nothing but battery or connection current. So then definitely there is a role and there should be a knowledge of battery technology to make it function. And fourth one is corrosion and its control. There are metallic parts as well. Apart from the polymer, there are metallic parts as well in this instrument. If those metallic parts are getting corrosion, then that water will be contaminated, and upon consumption of that water it will leads to the drastic diseases like malignant diseases which can be harmful. So corrosion and its prevention methods also we should know before making this kind of instrument for day-to-day life utilization. And finally engineering materials. This Kent is a engineering material. Why? Because a lot of involvement is there, lot of machineries are there, lot of filters are there, RO system, ultrafiltration system, TDS control system, UV treatment system, all these are there. So to make this Kent RO system, so a engineer should have minimum knowledge of chemistry. Now let us see here. I mentioned Dr. Reddy's laboratories here. So to make a tablet, there is an involvement of water, and to make that tablet strip, again polymer is required, and to dry them, again there is a temperature requirement, battery requirement, and corrosion resistant strips. And to make this kind of materials also a engineer's involvement is there. Let us see the car engine. The moment we open the car engine, we can see a lot of complex system with the tubes, battery connections, many things, very much complex. And this complex system, there is a radiator, there is a water a tank for cleaning of the glass, and there will be so many tubes. So here water involvement is there, polymer involvement is there, battery is there, corrosion and its control is there, and engineering, all these are engineering related things. So finally, the science is not truth, science is finding the truth, absolutely true. And to correlate these 5 modules of engineering, so the BTech undergraduate should have minimum knowledge to work like BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, NTPC, National Power Thermal Corporation, ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, and any other oil refineries. So graduates should have minimum knowledge. When we talk about soft drinks also, their pH is somewhere 3 to 4, which is acidic, and upon regular consumption it will lead to the cancers. So we should have the minimum knowledge of how these soft drinks made, what could be the pH, whether it is good for health or not upon regular consumption. So these kind of things we should update. And finally, there is a Covaxin vaccine which is developed during the 2020 pandemic. So to make this kind of vaccine or come up with some drug, there is an involvement of chemistry, and definitely an undergraduate should have the minimum knowledge how to make, what is the chemical required, and what all others things should be taken care. Okay, and now basically based on our 5 modules, we frame the 5 objectives. It's related to water sustainability and polymer science and its applications in our day-to-day life, and energy sources, making of portable electric devices, and knowledge of corrosion science, and engineering materials like lubricant, grease, etc. And these are the course outcomes which we frame for our undergraduate students. So course outcome 1 related to again water and its treatment, course outcome 2 for polymer science, course outcome 3 for battery technology and energy sources like solid fuels, liquid fuels, and gaseous fuels. And 4th module again corrosion and its maintenance, and 5th module engineering materials. So now this is the final conclusion of how this WIT and WIL concept helps to a undergraduate through our 5 engineering modules. Let us see the table here. A civil engineer should have the minimum knowledge of chemistry for water treatment, corrosion resistant, and polymers in day-to-day life. A mechanical engineer should know that lubricants properties, its viscosity, and smart materials, and the polymer composites, alloys, mixture, etc. And electrical and electronics graduate how to make the batteries, what could be the oxidation, what could be the reduction, and how this electricity generation is taking place, etc. And a chemical engineer, again water treatment, corrosion, polymer, and reactor materials. For aerospace applications also, a chemistry involvement is there, and a minimum knowledge should be there, smart materials, lightweight materials, etc. So now the thing is that WIT and WIL, faculty, whoever is teaching to a student or class, they should correlate their modules or their units with their emerging technologies and global challenges. Then the student can come up with something which is really useful for the society. Okay, and finally I would like to thank my VNR VJIT for providing this opportunity. Thank you.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.